So let us continue to talk about the update as well as the delete. In SQL, the update statement is used to modify the data. You may notice that the update is actually the reserved word that we're going to use. Only one table at a time, so you can only modify the information inside of a table. However, in that table, it is possible for you to change more than one column at a time. Ideally, you want to change only one item at a time, but it's possible that change of the instruction may affect multiple tuples. So let's take a look at the syntax. First of all, update is the reserved word for you to use. And when you tell the Oracle, say, hey, I want to update something, you need to tell it the table that you want to make the changes. And then you also need to use the reserved word set and then provide the column. For example, I want to change one employee's salary to a certain amount of number. Then if you want to modify multiple things, multiple columns at the same time, you can put column 2 equal to something, comma, and continue as those things. That's how you can change the value. Then the major question that you may have right now is, then which tuple are we talking about? So the next part, this is the key component for you to specify which tuple, which means that you want to specify the primary key of the tuple that you want to change. So you can see that the where condition is blanket, indicating is optional, but it's actually really, really necessary. Now we can see some examples over here. So the example I will provide over here is saying that if I want to update a student information, so student table set major ID equal to 700, indicating that it's going to change the major. Where this, again, like I said, is optional, but it is really necessary because you need to tell Oracle which student that you are talking about. Let's have some hands-on practice over here. Take a look of this table, employee table, saying that John is doing a great job. His social security number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. The salary right now, he has only 30,000, so it's pretty low. Let's increase his salary to 60,000. First of all, I want you to practice. So pause the video, go to Oracle, and then make the change. Try to see what kind of problems that you may encounter. So please do that. All right, assume you come back from the class. So now I want to do the changes. First of all, let's take a look of the employee table. So if we try to describe employee, we will be able to see the attributes as well as what kind of data types that's defining those. So you can see that the social security number, in this case, we are defining it as a number so that when I'm going to use the social security number, I don't need to quote. I just need to give the values of that. And therefore, when I'm trying to change John's salary, what I can do is that I can do the update employee table. So this is the table I want to make the changes. If I hit enter over here, since I haven't typed in the semicolon, I can continue providing the codes that I want to do. So now saying that I want to set salary equals to, say, 60,000. So we're going to double his salary. Once we hit enter over here, you can see that it's still blinking, which means that it is where we are able to keep typing where that is the conditions that we want to provide. So the John's social security number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm going to put social security number equals to, since this is the number, the data type over here, which is number, so I don't need to quote it. And I put in his social security number. When I put a semicolon over here, and then when I hit enter, you will see that it says one row updated. And therefore, if I'm going to do the select star from employee it will provide all the information that we need on every single employee's information. And if we roll back and then try to take a look of John's salary, so you can see that John Smith, his salary now, his salary instead of 30,000, it is 60,000 now. And therefore, we have successfully changing John's salary. The same thing, we can change any other people's salary based on the social security numbers that we provide. And now let's take a look at this. Saying that I'm trying to do updating their salary. So I do update employee, and then I say set salary equals to, say John is doing a great job. We decide to give him one more salary bump. So instead of 60,000, this time we give him a 10% increase. Take a look at this one. If I do this, say update employee, set salary equal to 66,000, I'm supposed to put a where condition, again providing John's social security number. In this case, saying that we forget about that, and we put a semicolon over here. Once we hit enter, what is going on? Let's see. You see that A rows has been updated, which means every single one's salary is changing to 66,000. So if we take a look at the select star from employee, you can see everyone's salary now is 66,000. This shows you how dangerous it is if you are typing some code incorrectly or you forgot to provide the where condition, because basically you did not tell the computer, say which employee that you want to change its information. And because of that, everyone has been changed. So this is something you really need to be careful, and you can see Oracle is not going to ask, are you sure about it? You are not able to use Control-Z to go back to the data that what you have done. So this is kind of a dangerous move. It's very important for you to understand how would you execute the update information. So go ahead, try to make some practices, changing something that you are interested in. For example, you can try to change some research manager into someone that's already there. Think about this, because after the code that we have executed, everything is there. You have the structure, you have the data, you have the foreign key being formed. So if you want to change the manager of the research, then you need to select someone that's really available. Make some changes, play with that, and I want you guys to have some experiences with it. So the last thing I want to mention today is about the delete operation. Delete is another data maintenance operation. In Oracle, the SQL statement delete is used for delete unwanted rows. The general syntax is actually super easy. Delete, again, the reserved word from, indicating that which table that you want to delete the things. So you can see you can delete from table name. So if you want to fire someone, you can do delete from employee. Again, the where condition is optional, but it is super, super important. So saying that you want to delete John, okay, you don't like him anymore, and you want to fire him from the company, then what you will need to provide is saying that where SSN equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Of course, everything we discussed earlier applies in this delete operation, which means that by default, if the employee, say John, is referenced by some other table, for example, John social security number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, it is being referenced by the works on table, and you try to delete him, you will get an error message so that you won't be able to delete him. And that's totally try to see that. So saying that if I want to do the deletion, delete, delete from employee, and then we try to provide a where condition, where social security number equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And we try to execute the code. what you will see is that it is telling you this is not able for you to do the deletion because it has been referenced. So the operation is actually getting an error message. And therefore, if we look back over here, saying that I want to delete some department location because department location is not referenced by anything. So saying that I want to delete from DPT locations. And then we add a where condition saying that I don't want the number equals to 1. Simply doing that. Then basically you provide a condition and then you will try to match the records to see if anyone is doing that. So now once we done that, it's actually saying one row has been deleted. And therefore, if we try to do the select star from the EPT location, EPT locations. Oh. So you can see that there's only going to be 4 department locations left over there. This video shows you that when it's totally possible to type in something wrong. So that you can see this is how we are able to do the deletions. Now, one more thing I want you guys to see is this. Saying that if we want to do the delete operation, delete from department locations. And now, if I do where the number equals to 3, equals to 5. When that's happening, take a look carefully. There are 4 tuples over there. 3 of them with the department number equals to 5. So when I do this one, and if I hit enter, what's happening over here is that it will just delete everything that satisfies the condition you provide, just like you do in the if statement. Okay, so this where condition is actually a very important thing, just like when you are doing the updates. The same thing, I want to show you an extreme case, saying that I want to do the delete operation. Instead of doing the department locations, now I want to look at the things in the works on. So if I'm going to type in works on over here, and I accidentally forgot to provide any where condition. If that's happening, which means you did not provide any conditions, and you hit enter, then everything is gone. You can see that 16 rows are being deleted. I want you guys to play with it. Okay, since the Oracle DML code is there, so all we need to do to get all the data back is that we just need to type in the whole thing, the temp DML example. We can bring everything back. So that go ahead and have some fun, practice with it. Make sure you know how to do the insert, make sure you know how to do the delete, as well as how to do the modify. Give yourself some practices. Don't forget to check the announcements, which will give you the exam information as well as the project 3 information. That will be all for the class today. Enjoyed it, and then I'll see you guys in the next class.